Hey again, guys. Part 3 is here, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back here with part 3 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's dub rant. And this time we're doing voice acting. Hooray! Me doing silly impersonations, but they're going to be pretty accurate, I think. Anyway, here we go. So, let's start with some of the major characters, shall we? I don't know. Let's start with, say, let's go for the main of the mains. Let's start with Yusei Fudo. Yeah. Yusei Fudo is voiced by Frank Frankson, who played Tristan Taylor in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub originally. And you would think, being a voice actor, you could change your voice, right, to alter the character, you know. But does he sound it? No. He actually sounds exactly the damn same as he does when he plays Tristan in the dub. And that's appalling voice acting for a start. You're not showing your true potential, you're just sounding the same. And doesn't he sound bored when he does it? Yeah, I'm Frank Frankson. Yeah, I'm gonna try and sound enthusiastic now. And I'm going to sound... I'm gonna sound like a whiny bitch. I want my Stardust Dragon back. Shut the hell up, Frank Frankson. You sound terrible. Okay, that's not the best impersonation, but I really can't do Frank Frankson, to be brutally honest. Although, I do admit one thing that I can do really well of his, and that is, why does it, whenever he sounds like he's in pain, does he sound like he needs a gigantic shit? Or he sounds like he's on the crapper doing a shit. Literally, he sounds like... Literally, watch some of the episodes back, and I swear to God, he sounds like that when he's supposedly screaming in pain. He sounds like he needs a really big shit. That is freaking terrible, kids. That is unexcusable, and it just really does sound bad. It's awful as hell. Ugh. So anyway, moving on from Yusei, let's do Jack next. Now, Jack is voiced by Ted Lewis, another fairly talented voice actor in my opinion. He did Bakura in the original, and he does other characters like Zangulos and Slayers. If you watch Slayers, you'll know which character I'm on about. But anyway, and Ghastly in Pokemon, so he can change his voice quite clearly. And he does with Jack. Yeah, well done. At least he's done something Frank Frankson couldn't do. So well done for that, Ted Lewis. But why do you sound like a why do you sound like a Brummie with an Australian accent? Why do I sound like this? Hey, you say, what's going on, pal? No, it sounds a load of crap, but I sound so clever, it's untrue. No, just no, people. No, that is effing terrible, and I absolutely despise Ted Lewis for doing Jack like that, because Jack was meant to be a really deep, dark character. Same with Yusei, really, and they both sound really out of character. It's terrible. Okay, on to one of the other Sigmas now, and personally, they butchered my favourite female character ever. What did they do to Aki, or Akiza in the dub? Why did they call her Akiza for a start? I would never know. She is voiced by Bella Hudson, as I mentioned in part 1. And, is it me, or does she sound like she tries to sound sinister, like this, when I'm really, really pissed off? But then, she sounds like and then eventually, she goes really deeply high like this! Oh my God! And it sounds absolutely irritating! Why? Why have you got why have you got such a high-pitched voice doing that? It's just like, and now back Rose Dragon, attack! And you sound so terrible! Ah! Stop it! To be honest, I couldn't see how 4Kids could have got round it. I think, for Aki anyway, because Aki's quite a dark character in Season 1, but she sounds terrible, Bella Hudson. She can't voice act to save her life. Well, she can, but she can't do Aki, let's be perfectly honest. I would have picked Lisa Ortiz, actually, because she did Lena Inverse in Slayers, and Lena has a fairly similar personality to Aki, I think. Although Aki is a lot darker, I still think is darker than Lena, but she at least could do a decent voice. We'll do Rua next, because he's another one of the major characters, and Rua, he just has this really irritating voice. I just don't like it. He sounds like one of the Rugrats. I seriously do think that. It's like, actually, I'm not going to do this voice because I really can't. To be basically honest, but it does sound terrible. Watch some of the episodes, you'll understand what I mean. And what about Ruka as well? I mean, seriously, what was with Ruka's voice, and why is she is she such a complete bitch in this dub? She's so quiet, she's so petite, she's so lovely in the Japanese version, and then she slags off her brother every 2 minutes in the dub, and you're like, wait a minute, you're meant to be the innocent one. But you know, I'm gonna do this. Oh, sorry, I couldn't do that voice, I'm sorry, I apologise. But you get the idea. We'll go on to Godwin, or Goodwin, as he's called in the dub. Because God is quite clearly wrong to you Americans. No, to all the religious people, all the religious Americans, I'm not criticising any of you. I admire you for having a faith or anything, but seriously, that is just appalling. Anyway, why does he sound like C-3PO? In the starting episodes, why does he sound like C-3PO from Star Wars? Can anyone tell me that? Oh, hello, Master. I was picturing this going to go, oh, hello, Master Atlas. How are you today? Kind of thing with C-3PO's voice. I literally thought he was going to do that. What about, who else have we got? Oh, Jaeger, or Lazar, as he's called. What is he, meant to be French? Well, anyway, he sounds like... Oh, but he sounds like a very camp man. I'm a lady. He sounds like that, and that is not excusable in any way, shape, or form. I know he looks like a gay clown, but seriously, don't do that, for kids. Or of course we could have the over-enthusiastic momentum guy, as he sounds completely off the ball. What about that insect dude, where you say duels in episode 2? Why does he sound exactly like the Chaz? I mean, seriously, why does he sound like that? I know it's the same guy, for God's sake, but, I mean, he could have altered his voice as well. I mean, there's no excuse for that, really. You could easily alter your voice to do a different character. Although he does sound slightly different from Chaz, but you can still tell it's him. Because he does sound practically like him. Who else have we got? Oh, yes. Bomber, or Greiger, as he's called in the dub, and I still don't understand why that is. But why does... he's actually the guy who voices, or I think is one of the voices of Goku in Dragon Ball Z. Because you hear when he screams, he sounds like the exact scream of, it's the power level being over 9,000! Etc. But no, but he's the same guy, but that's a respectable voice, and I actually quite like Bomber's voice, so I'm not going to go into him. But I also figured out he did people like Dr. Crowler in GX, and he also does the very, very amazingly camp MC character from 5D. Who can ever forget the famous dialogue of, is this thing on? Ollie Ollie Ogdington? I mean, seriously, what the hell were they doing with that? With dialogue is another thing. Jack's infamous line as well. Oh, if she can see dual spirits, then I'm a blue eyes white dragon! Seriously, what the fuck? People. Ugh, that is just a very bad case of dialogue. Also, like the other bits of dialogue with... Oh, and of course... Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I forgot one of the other characters I'm going to do voice acting for is Yusho, or Trudge. Why do I sound exactly the same as I did when I played Yu-Gi? In 5D, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, people, it's Dan Green again. I could actually do a better impersonation than that, but I'm going to do the abridged series version of it, because I think it's funnier. But basically, it's the same person, it's Dan Green, but even he didn't alter his voice, and he's a really good voice actor, so I really did feel let down by Dan Green there, and I feel really disappointed. He could have at least tried to change his voice, but then again, I'll let him off, because I actually quite like the guy, so big respects to you, Dan. But yeah, it's abysmal, it really was. Please, just no more, no more, no more, I can't take it anymore! I would do dialogue, I really would, I do more terrible dialogue, but honest to God, I'm running out of ideas, I really don't want to go into another part. Oh, dear God, what did you do, 4Kids? I am going to say one thing, thank you 4Kids, thank you very much for not dubbing Season 2, I am actually very grateful for that. You've done something right for a change. I'm Dark Soul Girl So 1, have a nice day everyone.